3, 2.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Week 12 of the high school football preview show for the Altoona. Hey, it's late.
Let's start it over.
Should we start again?
Yeah.
Start again. Zip. Bang.
It is like 11 o'clock.
This episode is sponsored by UPMC Altoona Elite Orthopedics and the UPMC Sports Medicine Concussion Program. UPMC Altoona Elite Orthopedics and the UPMC Sports Medicine Concussion Program are proud to support youth sports across our region and proud to sponsor the 2022 High School Football Preview on the Altoona Manor YouTube channel. To learn more about their board-certified orthopedic surgeons, their specially trained concussion management experts, and the wide range of orthopedic conditions they treat, or to schedule an appointment in one of their facilities in Hollidaysburg, Ebensburg, or Bedford, visit upmcaltoona.com/ortho or call 814-889-3600. That's 814-889-3600. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Week 12 of the High School Football Preview Show on the Altoona Manor YouTube channel. I am joined again by the usual terrific football writers we have here. Michael Boydham to my right, Andy Stein to my left. My name's Scott Franken, and before we start, we did find out who sent us the towel with the three of us on. It was Hannah, and right now, because I'm sleepy and everything, Hannah's last name again, Daniel?
Pollock.
There we go, Hannah Pollock. I didn't want to say it the other way. But Hannah Pollock used to work in the newsroom, was a fan of the show. Such a fan that I'm forgetting her last name.
Don't feel bad, Hannah. He has a tendency to forget people as soon as they walk out.
As soon as they walk out.
All right, break it up.
Thank you, I never made it.
But anyways, this was really nice, detailed work on this stuff. And she had to pay for it out of her pocket. And she probably doesn't make as much money as the three of us do. But thank you for the gift. We love it. Because nobody's really sent us anything recently. Andrew, Michael.
What's up with that?
We didn't get anything. We did get this pizza sent to us.
Yeah.
Here, we thought. But there's only one slice in it. So it shows you what people... I wonder if some athletic director sent that to us. But anyway, there's still time to send us gifts, even though the weeks are dwindling. But we're going to get right to work here. We have a couple of Friday night playoff games, and no, that's it. There's no Saturday this week. So we're going to start off right with the one that Andy's going to. Altoona versus State College. This is a second game in this series. They were played earlier this year, and I think Neil Rudell covered this game for us. State College, a big winner. I mean, is this David and Goliath on Friday night?
Well, I missed the first game because I had to get some healing in Alaska with your cool names segment bothering
We forced
me so
them.
much.
We forced them to go.
But I tell you what, Altoona's going to have to get the ball first and maybe chew up the whole first quarter on a drive, score, go up 7-0, and then take it from there. I mean, that's got to be the formula for this game. Andy, you saw them last week.
Yep.
What do you think Altoona needs to do in this one?
Well, the one thing I think, that, like you said, they do need to chew up some clock during the first quarter. I did like what Alex Yost brought to the table, but maybe even more so, the freshman Hazelwood. I thought
Out of nowhere.
Exactly, yeah, and I thought he was a great compliment to Yost, and the kid is quick, and I didn't think he was a freshman when I saw him, but yeah, that's a good formula, and they're gonna have to play some defense. They're gonna have to get some stops, but yeah, that is a good formula. They're gonna have to chew up some clock.
Yeah, I first saw Hazelwood play against Cumberland Valley, and he certainly had some moves and some speed, even against that team that night. I think that he did pretty well, but I was kind of freezing because I wasn't in the press box, so I can't remember.
None of us here thought that Mifflin County was going to be in that game.
Not at all.
And considering the circumstances surrounding their team on that game, I was stunned, and that's what I keep thinking. That is Altoona's one hope, that maybe State College does not take them seriously. And the longer you're in a game, we always hear that on TV and the NFL and the college stuff. The longer you let an underdog be in a game, the more they think they can win this game.
Got to give a lot of credit to Mifflin County. They came to play that night, and it was an inspired team. Sadly, their former coach died last week. You can tell they were playing for them.
The day of the game. Scott Sackler had
died,
passed away the day of the game from brain cancer. Let's move on now to the 3A championship game at Mansion Park. And is that your game?
Yeah.
This is a big game. Central versus Penn Cambria, a rematch. Sequel to the game from earlier this year. That I think you covered that as well.
Yeah, that was a good game.
42-28. What are you expecting in that one?
And in that first game, Penn Cambria scored a touchdown at the very end of the game. So it was a one-score game the whole way through. There were plays where Garrett Harold, I can remember a play specifically. He's back to pass, got blindsided hit with the ball out. Somehow didn't fumble, shook the guy off, and then threw a touchdown pass on 4th down. That's what kind of athlete this guy is. And on the other side, you got Jeff Hohenstein. Like I said, we've had a couple of these matchups this year where it was like guys that are both on the front cover of the Blitz magazine, and these are the best players in the area, and they're going up against each other. Now, last week, you saw your brother sold completely out to stop Hohenstein, and did a relatively good job at Central. Tyrone had 2 interceptions. Hohenstein was limited a little bit, but you can't play. Central showed that you can't play 3 or 4 guys in the box against them because they can run. They just don't try to run. So. I will say that Penn Cambria probably has a tougher line than Tyrone, so maybe they can drop a few guys back and see if they want to try to make that gamble, but they were able to do it in the first game. They just gave up a few big plays in that one, and on the turf at Mansion Park, I'm a little bit more concerned that maybe Central will be even quicker than they were up in Penn Cambria, where they tend to leave the grass grow a little high.
And it seemed like it was a little wet that night, if I remember. That game was on TV, was it?
Yeah.
Who did you pick and who do you like?
I did pick Penn Cambria. I mean, it is.
So I took Central.
It was I think it was a 2-touchdown game last time. So I mean, hey, I would like to be there for this one too. I mean, this is the best of the best, I think.
Yeah, I just think Central's on a roll right now. I remember somebody from up the coast, and I won't give their name away. I bumped into them early, and it said it would take them halfway point of the season for their line to get into shape and to be good, because early on, when I saw them on TV, their line was causing them troubles. Yep. And it looks like this guy turned out to be right. I'll have to congratulate him next time I see him in person. Let's get to our next game, 2A semifinals, another one that looks great on paper. BG, the 4th seed at Richland, number 1 seed. Richland's 10-0, 11-0.
11-0.
11-0. I mean, I got to think BG's got their hands full in this game.
They do, and they've struggled against Richland. The last 4 times they've played, BG's only scored a combined total of 13 points. And that is not going to get the job done this week because Richland is going to score. They've proven that. But, Richland has had close games this year. It's not like they've blown everybody out. They had a close game against Bedford. They had a close game against Penn Cambria. They even had a close game the first game of the year against Forest Hills.
Which we still couldn't believe the first,
And BG, you got to consider, their 3 losses are to Central by a point, and then they lost to Penn Cambria by 1 score, and then they lost to Bedford with Keseywetter not playing.
10th grader at quarterback.
So, I mean, BG has proven that they can play with anyone. So, there's no reason to count them out of this game, and you got 2 of the teams that have been at the top of their level in 2A and 1A over the years. So it's going to be fun to see what happens in this one.
Who did you pick in this? I'm curious. Why did you?
I did pick Richland. I wish this game would have been played during the regular season because I could just as easily see BG winning this game, especially with a healthy Keesey Wetter. I mean that he makes a load of difference. So I could be wrong, but Richland's experience, I think that's a big factor right there.
I just think Richland's like a machine.
They are.
They are, and I thought to myself, weren't they supposed to have a new quarterback this year?
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
Sam Penna.
He's 11-0.
He's the point guard of the basketball team, too. He's a scrappy guy. I know Chris Drenning's already game planning for him.
Our next game, Class 1A semifinals, which I was told earlier today, is this like a Heritage Conference tournament?
Yeah,
It's 1A.
4 teams left.
There are 4 teams left. Portage, number 5 seed at Penn Cambria, number 1. Who do you like in this one?
Well, Penn Manor won the first one pretty convincingly, and when I talked to Coach Marty Solanock, he said that they expect Penn Manor to score because Max Hill is a tremendous athlete for their quarterback, but he did not expect to give up 55 points. He said they kind of lost their composure. Portage scored 28 points the first time they played this team, so they have proven that they can score on Penn Manor. They just have to slow Penn Manor down a little bit, and it's been proven that it can be done. Berlin just shut them out 2 weeks ago in the Appalachian Bowl.
How much is the Penn Manor coach this week sitting there trying to tell his guys, forget about that 55-28 game, forget about that game?
Right. I think you just definitely have to get that out of your mind. Whatever happened prior to now, I mean, it doesn't really matter. So, just prepare for the game at hand on Friday night, I think. So that's what they're doing.
And Portage has to feel pretty good because did they not win on the road last week?
They did win on the road, and I want to give props to their coach because I don't know I want to see what you guys think about this. So Portage was winning by 1 touchdown in the fourth quarter on their own 16-yard line.
I know what he's talking about.
4th and 1. They decide to go for it. You stop him there. Juniata Valley has to go 16 yards to tie the game in the fourth quarter. He's told me he was worried about a blocked punt or something like that. He didn't want to risk it. He put the ball into the hands of Andrew Miko, who's his best player, and he said he was willing to lose the game on that. What do you guys think?
I would have never done it, but I would have thrown to the tight end who just catches touchdown pass. Who's that?
Bodie Leo.
See, that's what you can do. They should throw it at Bodie 5 times. That's 5 touchdowns right there, and then you let Miko and the other guys get that. But that's just me playing the game on paper. Our next game that I'm looking at on paper here is how cool. This is what this opened the season, correct? Or 2022 season. Cambria Heights and Northern Cambria, which means one of these teams is going to lose and their season's going to end against the season the team started with. How hard is it going to be for Northern Cambria to win this again?
Well, it's just, I've looked at the games in Northern Cambria and Cambria Heights and Portage. Those 3 teams kind of all just beat each other, and it was like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Other than Penn Manor beat, they obviously went undefeated in the Heritage, but Ty Stockley came back last week for Cambria Heights, and Coach Lewis said he wasn't at 100%. He was a little rusty, but he thinks the progress he made last week, he's going to make that much progress this week. And I'm telling you, if he is 100% and Tribus is 100%, I did pick Cambria Heights, as we know. I picked them at the beginning of the season.
Back in August.
And I just think that Cambria Heights will win this game, despite the fact they lost to Northern Cambria the first game of the year. But Ray Eckenrode is most concerned about whether they're playing for the Coal Bucket.
Coal Bowl, isn't it the Coal Bowl?
I guess they play for a bucket.
They play for a bucket.
Coal Bucket. And
Ray's an alumni of the Altoona Manor and Cambria.
And apparently, I talked to Coach Lewis about it. He said they've never played in the playoffs before, so he's not 100% sure, but he does believe the bucket will be on the line. So that's the answer to your question, Ray.
Who did you pick in this game? I know you only picked it a couple hours ago.
I did, yeah.
Who do you like in this game? Because I took Cambria Heights.
I did pick Cambria Heights, and that's the one thing they played August 25th, 26th, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was still pretty warm out. I mean, that's a long time ago right now. So I mean, what happened 10, 11 weeks ago, it could be a lot different this time around.
I just think when two teams are that even, it's hard to beat a team, especially high school kids twice a week. This next game, because I have a question to ask both of you on this one. This is District 5 playoffs. This is the championship. This is Friday night at Bedford High School. Windber's a 2 seed. Northern Bedford's 1 seed. They're both, 11-0, aren't they?
No, Windber lost to Berlin.
Okay, so Windber. Boy, those two, Windber and Berlin, to me, are like one team. I'd like to see them both. I just always get them confused. I'm curious as to whether Gary Black, the Northern Bedford coach, would have rather been the underdog here than the 1 seed, because now Windber's probably being told, oh, hey, look, we're the 2 seed. Northern Bedford thinks we're better than us. I mean, how hard is this going to be for Northern Bedford on Friday night?
Well, last year, Windber and Northern Bedford played in the regular season, and Windber won 56-7.
Yeah.
Now, that was at Northern Bedford, but as I talked to Coach Black, and sometimes people say this in coach speak, we're a different team, whatever. I actually believe him, and I have seen it with my own eyes. I covered them early last year, and I thought, this team can't throw the ball, they have no offense. And then I covered them in their first ever state playoff win out by the Ohio border by Andy's college town.
Teal.
Yeah, you were in Greenville.
But they looked amazing. And I was like, how did this team make all this progress? And
They were coached up.
I believe that when he says they're a different team, they are a different team. Are they better than Windber? I don't know. That's what we got to find out. John Schuster for Windber is a great running back. He's averaging 15 yards a carry.
Jeez.
He's got 2,400 some yards, and it's just going to be a battle of, can they contain him? Can they keep those big plays off the scoreboard? And we'll find out. In 2019, his freshman year, actually, Northern Bedford beat Windber in the playoffs. So he loses to them his freshman year. Now they're back down at 1A, and he gets a chance to try to beat them on his way out.
Who did you pick up top here? Because I think I picked Northern Bedford.
I picked Windber, and hey, I would say this.
That's putting pressure on you.
Hey, sorry, Coach Black. I like you and everything, but hey, I would say I think everybody would agree here that this is going to be Northern Bedford's biggest test of the season.
Oh,
so,
yes,
hey, 11-0. I mean, I don't care who your schedule is. That's not easy to do. But hey, I think Windber's pretty good this year.
And I think we all hope that Coach Black is not on the show with us next week.
Which leads us up. Mike and I did try to get Homer Delattre, the Hollidaysburg coach here, that he had duties as athletic director, but we were making an effort, and I personally felt bad asking the Tyrone coach to come here after a loss, and I felt bad also reaching out to the Bellwood coach. Now that we've let some time, maybe we can invite them next week. But do we have a stat of the week, Michael, for this week?
Well, my stat of the week for this week is 2.5.
2.5.
Okay.
2.5 is what I was told today is the expected amount of inches of rainfall tomorrow. For Friday's games, and that could really impact a lot of these games. As I look at these,
That could impact my basement too. I'm
Cambria Heights, Northern Cambria. Northern Cambria loves to throw the ball, and Cambria Heights hardly ever throws the ball. So if it's pouring down rain, Cambria Heights, that gives them a big advantage in that game. So, if this 2.5 inches of rain comes Friday night, some of these games could really change. And hey, I think that helps Altoona too. I mean, things get sloppy. Yeah, Central and Penn Cambria. I mean, Central Penn Cambria. Central's going to be trying to throw the ball a lot. I mean, that's going to be a slippery football. You never know. I know if I'm Altoona and I'm playing a powerhouse like State College, I want it to rain as much as possible, be as windy as possible, and see what happens.
Yeah.
And what about our Steins line? Do we have a Steins line this week?
We sure do.
Short steps. Short steps are better than long steps.
Wow, we spare no expense.
I mean, hey,
to write stuff down on paper.
I'm out there tearing every day.
Yes.
So my Steins line of the week this week is Central. I haven't picked them all week, which was kind of surprising, or all season. I mean, I was kind of surprised about that. I'm sorry, Tyrone, but they were Central beat you guys 35-14 last week. I still have a lot of love for the people of Tyrone. Central had 290 rushing yards. That was also the game that Jeff Hohenstein tied the career touchdown record for the state. Congratulations to him. But their line is left tackle Jackson Detterline and Ben Lovett, left guard Caden Shanks, center Brady Albright, right guard Wyatt Holsinger, right tackle Mason Conrath, and sometimes Jackson Detterline also plays right tackle, and their tight end is Jason Clark. Good luck against Penn Cambria, guys.
Clark's a nice athlete. Watch out for him in maybe a big situation, that district champion.
And on defense, too, isn't he not the end? He was against BG. I remember his name being called repeatedly on TV. He was pressuring the quarterback. Also, he talked about overlooking a name. We're on week 12 for Dan's favorites. And Mike, you can eat the slice of pizza while we do cool names. I think that would be funny.
Wait, I think I heard Homer knock, and I'm
think
going to go
it's
let
Homer.
him in. He's probably
It's like 11 o'clock at night. Is he still?
Yeah, well, this is
Holy
late.
cow.
Hey, anyways, I forgot Penn Cambria. I was looking back through the names, the cool names. I thought, how did I forget Penn? I drank from their cup, which I don't even have my cup with me. That cup's been with me all 11 shows, and now I'm nervous I jinxed somebody.
I wanna know what's the name of the game.
But anyways, our cool name from Penn Cambria. Everybody knows, if you're a fan of this segment of the show, Mason Mento. Mason Mento, Penn Cambria sophomore, running back, linebacker. In fact, Andy and I thought if we had shown any kind of initiative effort, we were going to call the kid, tell him to come down, walk in during the show with a pack of Mentos. We thought, Andy will sing the jingle. I don't remember. We thought that would have been funny. But maybe just talking about it would be almost as funny.
The Fresh Maker.
There you go. Look at that.
Is that Homer?
And then Bald Eagle area. This kid was born, you know this, I gave you this name earlier today. This kid was born to be in the cool name segment. He's a sophomore lineman, defense officer. His name is Dakota McCool. Dakota McCool.
I'll tell you what, that's a McCool name.
That is a McCool name. But anyways, how does he not get on the cool names list? But that's going to do it. I want to see if anybody will pay me to
Where's
eat this
Homer? I'll
slice of cheese pizza.
Give Homer that pizza.
On the air. But anyways, I did. If Homer would have showed up. But
Only the elite graduate from
But
the
for the departed Mike Boyden, who's anxiously awaiting Homer the Lottery to come, he's never going to show up. I'm Scott Frank, Andy's time. Behind the camera, the guy who's just as tired and wants to go home, Dan Eisenberg. We will talk to you next week for week 13, because somebody's got to win in these games, and hopefully we will have another. Because if these all local lose, we do not have a show next week. That would make me sad. I would be sad.
I wouldn't like
So anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.